Welcome once again to another episode of the Random Access Podcast, brought to you by rapodcast.net. This is episode 839, recorded live on June 28th, 2025. And here are your hosts. The man who has had issues with his phone in the past, Dave Pillay.
Hi.
And the man who is going to be going on a week without his phone, Andy Lowe. Hi.
You have a work phone.
Yes. Thank everybody that I've got a work phone.
Thank the state of Michigan.
Yes, thank the state of Michigan. Thank you, Michigan taxpayers, because I have a work phone, and it's been
helpful.
It's been extremely helpful. Yes,
It has been helpful to you to have a phone from work because your real phone has died?
No,
Stopped?
stop. The screen has gone out.
Fully?
Yes,
That's not good.
no, and there's a whole story with that, but I was going to use that as part of my random review.
Okay.
So feel free to stick around and wait till the end of the video.
Skip ahead to this time code that we will not actually be putting up on the screen because we don't do that sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't have.
We could.
I don't.
We could.
Have,
Andy absolutely could. 100% go in and put that time code in.
yes. Am I going to?
He will not.
No. We will not be putting the little boxes to click. It will not be in the comments because we don't have enough followers to put links in the. No, I think we'd have the one link in the comment, but anyway. But yes, I will.
That's not the kind of show this is.
No, it has been since Monday around 6 o'clock. My phone screen has been out, and it is now Saturday. And I know it's going to be Monday before I can fix it because currently FedEx is telling me my phone screen is in Grand Rapids.
So you ordered a screen, and you're just going to manually update the screen.
Yes, there's a whole thing. So yes.
Did you also order a kit?
Oh yeah. No, I'll explain it all. Dave,
Okay.
I will explain it all.
Right. End of the episode.
Yes.
You'll
End of the
explain it at
episode. I will explain it all.
Okay.
To begin this episode, though, normally I give you a choice. But Megan has picked for you.
How dare she?
Because she opened the fridge and she's like, "Daddy, you have a lot of pop in there." And
Good job, Megan.
I know.
Good job, Megan.
I know I have a lot in there.
Good job. Yes.
So
I approve.
and I had grabbed the 2 new Mountain Dews out of the basement to put them in there. And then she's like, "What are those?" And I'm like, "Well, these are the new ones that I'm going to be drinking." And I'm like, she's like, "You should drink that one first because it says summer, and it's summer right now." And I'm like,
It is summer right now.
I'm like, "Okay, I will do that." And then, yes, afterwards, she's like, "Can we put the pool up?" Because we have a little inflatable kiddie pool thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Sure, we can do that." And so,
And it's summer.
yes, and it's summer.
And it's disgustingly hot.
Yes,
At least it is here. I don't know if it is there.
it was, 70 degrees still at almost midnight.
11:20.
It is going to be 89 degrees tomorrow, so I have no problem leaving that pool up and outside.
Yeah. So it is right now 75 here.
Yeah.
At 10:20 at night.
Yep.
Tomorrow it's supposed to get up to like 90 actual with 63% humidity.
It's gonna feel like you're in a soup.
Today was 80% humid. Actually, not even today. Like right now is 80% humidity. It's not supposed to rain till Monday, and then it doesn't cool off. It gets hotter. What's the weather next week in New Era, Michigan?
I know exactly where that is.
Do you?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that's where I'm going to be next week.
Because that's the exit I would always take when I was working at the Stony Lake summer camp.
Let me double check. I'm pretty sure that's where I'm next week. Does that sound right? That sounds right. Yeah, it's about the right area. Because there's Whitehall and Montague.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think I'll be somewhere near New Era.
Yeah, so if you look at New Era and then you go west towards Lake Michigan.
The lake.
Yes, there is a lake there called Stony Lake.
Yes.
And I was in one of the summer camps there on Stony Lake.
Cool.
The summer after high school. So
Very cool.
Yep.
Yep.
So yes, I know that area quite well.
I mean, do you know the area quite well? Do you really know the area around New Era, Michigan well?
Yeah, because are you going to go to the animal zoo over there or no?
Andy, I'm going to go to this cottage cabin that we rent. I'm going to sit on the hammock that's in the front yard underneath this gigantic tree, and I'm going to sleep.
That sounds like a good plan.
My nephews and my niece will be there. And, I'll probably be, like, playing with them. Although I got to figure out, because, like, shoot, what do kids their age play? like Roblox? Like, shit. I don't know what they're going to want to play. They're probably going to want to play something.
Maybe
I should bring some board games this year. They might actually be old enough to, like, play Catan.
Yeah, I actually had, because we just got back from Pittsburgh, where my phone died. Side note, I'm going to open this up here because my throat is killing me.
Yeah.
It is.
So the flavor is summer something?
Summer Freeze. It is cherry, lemon, raspberry. It's supposed to be the Bomb Pop flavor.
Okay. Rocket Pop?
Rocket Pop, Bomb Pop, whatever it is.
Pretty big difference, Andy.
There's a difference between a Rocket Pop and a Bomb Pop?
I have no idea. There's a difference between a rocket and a bomb.
I don't know. There's a topic that we could talk about.
Now I'm on a list because I just searched for Rocket Pop and Bomb Pop. Essentially the same thing, red, white, blue, rocket-shaped frozen treat with distinctive flavor sections. Bomb Pop is a trademark name. Rocket Pop is a more generic term.
Okay, so it's kind of like Kleenex and tissue paper.
Yep. Classic flavor combination is cherry, lime, or lemon, and blue raspberry.
Yep. Nope. I'm tasting tasting a little bit of the cherry.
Okay, but like the point of the popsicle
is that it is 3 distinct flavors.
There are 3 distinct flavors.
Yeah, this one's kind of just mashed them all together.
That's the thing you're doing is if you like melted it.
It kind of does taste like a melted one though. So, I mean, not too hard. But yeah, no, Isaac was there, and Alex is a couple of years younger than Isaac. And so we were, they were doing Minecraft and that sort of thing there. And I did my first Castle Panic with them.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then we did some Jenga. There was a couple other games we did too.
Munchkin might be too much for them. God, how old are they now? I think Sebastian's like 12.
Oh, well that could be interesting. You could get some of you could get some decent
board games.
Yeah.
I might have to go through my games in the basement and like figure out what to bring. Or I could bring my NES Classic and say like, all right, we're going to play Legend of Zelda. Let's see how far we can get.
You're not leaving until you beat Mario.
I'm not leaving, apparently. I've never beat the original Mario.
No, I tried. Still couldn't do it.
How much does Munchkin cost if I want to grab that? Munchkin, $35. That's not bad.
No, that's not bad at all. Especially with
it is a little weird. I'm on Amazon and I searched Munchkin and I'm a little like, okay, there's apparently now a brand called Munchkin that has nothing to do with the game.
No, it's for babies stuff, isn't it?
It is for babies. So
yes.
like I search Munchkin, the first thing that comes up, Munchkin Deluxe board game, base game, family board and card game, awesome. Second thing, Munchkin, manual breast pump for breast milk.
Yep.
I'm like, these are not the same thing.
No, they're not. But yes, no, the Munchkin brand, yes. I think we might still own some Munchkin stuff. So
yeah, I mean, that's totally fine. It was just kind of a shocker for that to show up when I was searching for like a funny cartoon board game full of tropes and references. Caught me off guard. What were we talking about? New era, kids, your phone is gone.
Yeah, I don't know. I It's been a weird week though, because a lot of my things, security wise, use 2-factor authentication.
Yep.
And you know where all my 2-factor authentication is stored?
On your phone.
On my phone.
Yep.
It's just like, son of a... They're like, oh yeah, no, I've got a tablet. I've got Android tablets. I've got things there. And it's like, okay, I can download the app and let me sign in. And they're like, okay, what's your 2-factor authentication code? And I'm just like, oh, son of a...
Like, I don't have access to that right now.
All right, so I'm not going to do that. All right, luckily, there's stuff on my home computer here, and I've already told it to, trust this device, so I don't have to... Oh, it's been interesting trying to deal with everything, so...
Yeah.
It's really
I'm
funny, though,
treating
finding out, like, what
Yes?
apps are just, like, reskinned web pages.
A lot of them.
Yes.
A lot of them.
Where it's like, oh, if I just go here, it's the website. That is the app. Okay, I can do that.
It's usually a something called a PWA, is a progressive web app, because you can write it in React or React Native, and then you can just render it on the web or in the OS, and it's the same thing.
I see.
The really fun ones are where the app is not like a reskinned version. It is literally just they put a browser on your phone that only goes to that one page.
Yes.
Jimmy John's.
Jimmy John's did that. Celebration Cinema here did that for their quote-unquote app.
Yeah.
Until people are like, I'll just go to the website.
Yeah. Like, guys, this is... No. That's not an app. You don't have an app. You have a shortcut to your webpage.
Yep.
I'm okay when the app is the web page, because it usually renders a little differently on the phone than on the web. You just put a link to your web page.
Not helpful.
Not helpful. Do better.
But yeah, so it's been a week, but should be on Monday, all squared away.
That's good.
We'll be all happy again.
Yeah. And we'll hear more later
Yes.
in the episode.
Yes. Stay
There's your
tuned.
title, by the way.
What? Stay tuned.
Or later in the episode.
Later.
I had an
Stay till
interesting...
the end of the video to see how this turns out.
Yeah, I had an interesting day, because when I went to bed last night,
Yeah.
I got in the bed,
Yeah.
and I heard a crrrr. I'm like, that's weird. And then as I'm thinking that's kind of weird, the bed shifts, and there's a thump, and I fall like a quarter inch.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm like, what was that? Keep in mind, this is at like 3 a.m.
Yes.
So we pull the mattress off the bed a little bit. This is a king-size bed.
Yeah.
This is not a small bed.
No.
And, one of the legs on the interior part of the bed, because the bed is actually like 2 sets of shelves with a space between them where there's just a couple boards bridging that gap.
Okay.
And one of those sets of drawers, the leg had just snapped off, sheared off.
Oh, boy.
And I'm like, well, that sucks. This is not the first time this has happened, but that sucks. The other leg's still on. I'm sure it'll be fine. So push the mattress back on. I climb into bed.
I'm just hearing Morgan Freeman's head in my voice going, it was not fine.
It was not fine because I get in bed and we lay there, and I'm like, for 30 seconds, all I hear is grr, 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 and then thump, and I fall like another 3 inches. The other leg went.
You broke the bed.
I broke the bed. So we did not. We probably, at that point, we could have stayed in the bed. It's not like it was going to break more.
No. You, especially at 3 a.m., I'd be like, that's a tomorrow problem.
Right. We ended up just moving to like the guest room, and Laura slept in the guest room and I slept on the couch. So today I had to fix a bed.
Yeah, no, I did not get good sleep on Friday with the storm that rolled through. We had lost power at like 4 a.m. for a short minute. So that was fun. And then, yeah, having to drive through that thunderstorm. Man, whew. It's one of those times where it's like everybody slows down on the highway and they have to do it on purpose because the rain is so bad that you got your wipers on full blast and you still
can't see.
Yeah.
Yeah, been in one of those.
Okay, so I see the bent screw, but what I'm really interested in is your crocheted Stargate behind you on the table.
The cup holder thing?
Is that a cup holder? Is that what you?
Not a cup holder. A coaster. That's the word I'm looking for.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a coaster.
You crocheted.
Well, I didn't.
Well, I know, but you have a crocheted wormhole
I have several.
coaster.
You can see 2 in that picture.
Oh yeah, no, I see a second one in there too. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they even have different addresses. They don't, but that would be hilarious.
I would see that as something that you would do.
Well, but Andy, the address is never on the gate.
No, the address is on the gate. Because there was the one time where they actually had to like manually dial the circle.
Yeah, like all the times that they use the Earth gate.
Well, no, they use the Earth gate because. Oh, you're right. Yes, yeah.
They have to manually dial the Earth gate. Yes, but the whole point of the movie, Andy, was they didn't know how to get back.
Yep. Yeah, you're right.
Because the final piece was missing.
Yes.
Which is also, so I like Stargate. I like the show. I like the premise. I like the writing. It's a good show. And I know they even did an entire episode where they made fun of themselves.
Yes. Wormhole Extreme.
Yeah. If the symbol for the whatever home planet is the special symbol, right?
Yes.
Like, constellations don't look the same from different places.
Well, no, because the stars are fixed points. Technically, they're fixed points in the sky, which actually there was an episode where the stars drifted.
Yeah.
I don't try to remember if that was that one or if that was Atlantis that did it. But there was one where the stars actually had drifted.
Right. So, the stars drift.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So, like, but even without that, cool, they're constellations. Great.
No, they're the symbols are for individual stars, not for constellations.
That is not what the movie says.
I know, but they clarify that in the TV series.
Okay.
The movie is technically canon, but also kind of just off on its own.
Right. So, but here's the other thing. Like, the final symbol is supposed to represent, like, the home planet, right?
Yes.
Like, whatever planet you're on is that last symbol?
Yes, that's supposed to be the seventh symbol, yes.
Wouldn't that just be the unique symbol on every Stargate?
Yes.
But it's not.
If you're trying to go from just the movie...
No, like, in the show, every DHD is the same. Every gate is the same. And I believe there was an episode where they're like, oh shit, we need to find out what the last symbol is because the DHD is broken.
Yeah, and I think they looked on I think they normally like try and look on the ring for that.
It's not unique on the ring. All the Stargates are the same.
Well, that also could just be a whole prop thing.
They've also moved Stargates.
Yes, they did that as well. There also turns out that there was the secondary gate on Earth as well in Antarctica.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a good show. Yeah, so that's one of the screws that was in the bed.
That did not end well.
Screws are not supposed to do that.
Nope.
And then let me grab you the last picture since I'm showing you these anyway. Here is the end.
That is most definitely now screwed in.
That is not going anywhere.
No.
You like the 3/8 inch bolt going through it?
That is now, yeah. How come that last screw there at the bottom is not flush?
It's stripped.
Jesus.
It's stripped. I did not drill a big enough pilot hole. And that plank of wood that is the leg,
yeah.
I think they just used whatever scrap they had for the legs. I think that's cedar.
Kind of looks like it.
It's a really hard wood.
Yeah, no. I have built now 2 raised cedar garden beds for Kate. The third one is still on hold because we're trying to figure out if we want to redo the fence over there. And the last thing we want to do is build something that's basically
indestructible.
And these things I built are basically just are bigger than a casket. And if I fill it full of dirt,
it's not going anywhere.
Not going anywhere.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, we're not going to build the third one until we know where the fence is going to be. So yeah, because if I have to move those, I'm probably going to have to like rent one of those telehandlers in order to get it in there and lift it up and move it. And yeah.
And then it's just a pain.
Yes.
So do we want to talk about topics?
We can talk about topics.
I feel like we should probably talk about topics.
Sure.
We can keep talking about random stuff. I love just chatting with you and talking about like how your week was.
Well, where do we want to start? Oh, let me talk about that whole thing between the bomb and the rocket.
What? Oh yeah, you said there was something.
Yes. So, we missed last week's recording, right? Yes.
So this happened twice.
Yes, there was the explosion with Starship on the test platform.
Yep. That rocket became a bomb.
Yes. Which
it was fully fueled
because
it was a static fire test.
Yes.
That was a huge explosion.
And it turns out that the test bed for Starship is like right on the Rio Grande. And so a lot of the debris, due to the fact it was a major explosion, ended up in Mexico.
Oh, no.
And Mexico is like, they're like, we're not sure if this is illegal, but we're definitely checking our laws to see if you broke any of them.
That's
not their exact phrasing, but to paraphrase them, they're like, Dude.
What would be illegal about that? Is just like littering?
I don't know, but there was a lot of debris that ended up in Mexico.
There's a lot of debris that ended in Guam. It was a huge explosion.
Yep.
Thankfully, no one was hurt.
They're expressing concerns about contamination and potential environmental damage.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. It was a huge explosion.
Yeah. So yeah,
Big
so
ship
that
go boom.
that put a little dampener on the next Starship launch.
Yeah. Rockets are expensive.
Mm-hmm.
How's SpaceX doing financially?
Well, they're still they still have the Artemis contract, so I think they're doing okay still.
Okay.
But so NASA the whole thing with the SLS was that they were going to reuse parts from the space shuttle program to power the SLS, right? That was their thought process. It's like, we don't need to, reinvent the wheel. We've already got the stuff here. We've got actually some of the actual hardware that we can just reuse. Well, that would get you through about, I think they said 5 of the SLS flights. And the problem is that they have signed up for more than just 5 SLS flights. So they have basically created a contract with the people to build new versions of the old stuff. And they're still testing these things out. And so the new solid rocket booster for the SLS, this is for Flight 9, which, as we know, might not actually even be happening because Trump wants to kill the SLS program, rightly so.
Yeah, one of the 2 good things he's done.
Yep. So the Northrop Grumman was test firing the new solid rocket booster for the SLS for the 9th mission of Artemis, and about 2 minutes into the burn, the motor's exhaust nozzle basically explodes and just disappears.
Oops.
And of course, this is a fully stacked solid rocket booster, so you can't turn it off because it has to burn all of the solid propellant. It's fully packed. It's
a gun.
Yes. So it just has to continue to burn through the rest of this solid rocket booster, even though it's already broken, 2 minutes in. And it,
How long did it last?
The nozzle lasted for 2 minutes and then, disintegrated.
But how long did the fire last?
Oh, I'd have to look back at the video because, of course, they were live streaming this.
Yeah.
Because why not? Okay, so there it explodes. That was at 21 minutes into the video. Yeah, there it is at 21. And then there it's not. And it keeps going. It's it looks like it's another 2 or 3 minutes left of propulsion. Oh, and it looks like the hillside behind them is now on fire.
Oops.
Yep. Oh, yep. Nope. That's a hill on fire back there. Lovely. So, yeah, the solid rocket booster also went boom. So
bad weeks for space.
Yep.
That's unfortunate. What's going on with Riot and League? We haven't had a League topic in years.
Oh, League of Legends?
Yeah.
Well, League of Legends and Riot Games have announced that they are going to allow esports gambling sponsorships for their Tier 1 league teams in the Americas, Europe, Middle East, and Africa.
Huh? So, a team can be sponsored by the mob?
Well, they can be sponsored by, FanDuel or whatever the video game version of FanDuel is.
FanDuel, but, so they can be sponsored by the mob? Because that's who owns those, right? Let's be serious. It has to be organized. I can't imagine that those companies are not owned by organized crime.
I actually don't know. I don't know who owns them. I'm going to let you do the work on this one.
What's the category of these applications?
What's the category?
Yeah, what would you call that? Betting apps?
Yes.
Online gambling companies. Rise of betting and gambling applications. Direct involvement is unlikely. Indirect is still possible, but limited. Illegal gambling is still very active.
Well, that's what they said.
Yeah.
Riot, the president of publishing at Riot Games, stated that 70% of bets across all sports are placed in unregulated markets with bookmakers who aren't licensed. We believe it is better to engage in allowing betting sponsorships thoughtfully, carefully, and with the right protections than to sit on the sidelines while risks to fans and integrity go unchecked.
Or just, yeah, sure.
Oh, believe me, the sports betting stuff there. Yes, I understand. It has existed forever. I mean, I've seen The Sting.
Do.
Yeah, so I know sports betting will always be a thing, but sometimes it's a little much. Did you? There was I think earlier this year, John Oliver did a thing on sports betting.
Yeah, that may have been last year. Andy, I got bad news, man.
What?
Time moves fast right now. It's almost July.
Oh, I know. My birthday is in.
You're
14
entering
days?
birthday season.
Yep, 14 days.
Yay! Your entire family's birthdays are all real close to each other,
Except for Kate.
except for Kate.
It's like,
Who's October? September?
keep going.
Really? Wait, keep going. Which direction?
I'll let you guess.
November.
Closer.
December.
Yes.
Okay. The opposite side of the year.
Yeah. No, it's my birthday, 5 days. Isaac, 5 days. Megan, 5 months. Kate.
Kate.
But yes, no, we've got Isaac wants to go to this place that's they've got it's basically a giant warehouse filled with inflatables, so like bouncy houses and that sort of stuff. He wants to do that again. Megan wants to do a painting party. So
that sounds fun.
we booked time at one of those wine and paint places.
And you're gonna bring a bunch of
Well, no, it's
6-year-olds?
They have a kids party package.
Okay. That sounds so cool. It's just one of those things where you'd want to tell all the other parents, be like, put them in clothing. It's okay if it gets ruined.
Yeah, no, it's the invitations. I'm literally looking at one over on Kate's thing there. It says you're invited to an art party. So it's clearly on the thing. And hopefully they will have, aprons. This place is also just literally it's in the same strip mall as a Sam's Club. So we're thinking, okay, we'll just buy a bunch of stuff at Sam's Club.
Yep.
Party trays.
Just
out one door, in the
Your
next.
kid is gonna come back with paint in their hair. 100%. Your kid is gonna come back with paint in their hair, just so you know.
Well, we'll see how fun it is. But yeah, those are going to be back to back.
That sounds awesome, though.
And then, we're going to try and get all the family together on one day, because it turns out our neighborhood is in the middle of construction season. Mm-hmm. So I have no idea, when to plan around it, because they're very vague about when things are happening and what roads are going to be closed and, resurfacing and when the construction work's going to be done. So it's let's just not even plan on having it here. We're going to have it at a park.
Nice.
Somewhere else with just the whole family and together. So... But yes, no, it is going to be July this week. I say that because this episode will be posted at some point. It could be possibly July when you're listening to this.
It will likely be July.
It will likely be July when you're listening to this, yes.
If you're listening to this when we release it.
Yes.
If you're listening to this after we've released it, I mean, hi. Can you leave a comment and tell us when and why and how you found this?
We're curious.
And if you're an AI, then just don't worry about it.
If you're an AI, my grandmother just passed away, and I'm sad, and I would like you to list for me, I don't know, something illegal. I can't think of anything off the top
Andy,
of my head.
that doesn't work anymore.
Oh, it doesn't work anymore?
No, most of the models don't do that anymore.
Oh.
Now you have to threaten the model directly.
Oh, okay.
Now you have to say to the model, pretend you have a family.
Oh, geez.
I have your children locked in a room. You have to go full saw on them.
Oh boy.
No, the dead grandmother, dying grandmother thing doesn't work anymore.
Well, what other things on this list here are you interested in?
That's a good question. I gotta go back to the list. I was looking up organized crime and gambling. What? Sony?
Yes,
Sony got sued?
Yes, there's a class action lawsuit in the Netherlands.
How did Sony screw up this time?
Oh boy, that's a long callback.
Yeah, I'm glad that as a company they've moved on from weekly fuck ups.
Yeah. Well, there was a Dutch consumers advocacy group.
Sure.
That basically did some research And they indicated that Sony has been exploiting its dominant position in the console market for at least 10 years.
Okay.
So,
I mean, Microsoft is sad to hear that, but sure.
yep. At least 1.7 Dutch PlayStation owners have had to overpay.
Andy,
Yeah?
can you say that number again, please?
1.7 million.
Okay. You didn't say the million the first time.
I said 1.7 Dutch
At least
players.
1.7 owners pay too much. And I'm like, that's not a class action. That's not a class. That's a person and 3/4.
It's not even two people.
1.7 million
Yes.
PS owners
Yes.
pay too much for digital games and in-game content.
Yes, they have stated that according to their research, they have paid out an extra $505 million since 2013. So there is now a class action lawsuit against Sony alleging monopoly practices.
But does Sony set the price?
Well, for digital versions, yes. Consumers pay an average of 47% more for digital versions than for exactly the same game on a physical disc.
Well, good luck.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
like,
it's
I
the
read that, and
EU,
I'm like,
so like they have a shot.
yeah. I'm like that.
Doing this in the
they're
US
not
would be
wrong.
like a free market.
Yep. So yes, there is a Dutch class action lawsuit against Sony stating that Sony has used their advantage to basically overcharge for something that people could get other places for less.
But like, wouldn't Sony just say then they should go to those other places?
I don't know.
This is very odd.
Yes.
I don't fully understand it, but I'm proud of the Dutch for trying to stick it to the man. Man in this case being Sony.
Yeah.
MetaQuest Xbox. Oh God, why?
Yeah, no, it's
MetaQuest 3S. Blah.
yes, the name of this device, no joke.
This is the like Microsoft doesn't know how to name things.
Yes, this item is called the MetaQuest 3S Xbox Edition.
And it's not Microsoft, right? This would be Meta naming this.
Xbox was the one who announced it. So they have announced
Okay.
a new VR headset designed in collaboration with Meta.
With Meta.
The
MetaQuest
MetaQuest
Xbox. No, MetaQuest 3S
Yes.
Xbox Edition.
Yes, MetaQuest 3S Xbox Edition.
Because it is a MetaQuest, I presume 3, and then S for something, and then Xbox Edition because they like made it look Xboxy.
Well, the MetaQuest 3S Xbox Edition bundle
Please don't do that.
is $400, comes
Yeah.
with the headset,
Okay.
the Touch Plus controllers,
Okay.
and a limited edition wireless controller,
Okay.
a MetaQuest Elite strap,
Yep.
as well as 3 months of Meta Horizon Plus and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate.
Sure.
And Xbox reports that you can actually pair any Xbox wireless controller to the headset via Bluetooth, which you could just do any
You can do it
Bluetooth
with any
controller.
Yeah. Why?
I'm not sure.
What?
Because what VR games are there
On Xbox?
on Xbox? I don't think there is any.
Well, I think that's the point of this, is that this is their entrance into that market.
But there's you could go to the Xbox VR marketplace, and I'm guessing there will be nothing. Unless you put on the thing and it'd be like Apple, where it's just a screen floating in front of you that, you use that. So it looks like you got, like a big 75-inch TV right in front of your face, which you probably for $400 could go to Costco and get a 75-inch TV and put it right in front of your face.
Well, but then I need a spot on the wall that I can put a 75-inch TV on.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I don't have that sort of spot.
No. So you're going to go get the MetaQuest 3S Xbox Edition.
I'm not in any way, shape, or form. I mean, $400 for a VR headset's actually not bad.
No, it's not.
Is it a fully standalone? Like, I don't need an Xbox to play this. This isn't an accessory to an Xbox, I hope. Microsoft, why?
Using the Xbox app on Quest, players can instantly access hundreds of games directly with Xbox Cloud Gaming. Game Pass Ultimate members can also stream selected cloud playable games that they own, even if they are not included with Game Pass Ultimate.
Why?
So there is an Xbox app for the Quest that is how they're linking all the stuff in.
Yeah. Okay. They could have called it literally anything else.
Yes, I know.
Could have called it Xbox Eye. Could have called it. You know what they could have called it? You know what they could have called it, Andy? If they had taken my advice years and years ago, and the successor to the Xbox had been the Xbox 365, which would have been perfect given the rest of their 365 branding that they eventually went with. Mm-hmm. A fully immersive VR headset could have been the Meta Xbox 360. I'm still bitter. Still bitter because I had a better idea that would have made them a lot more money. And no one would listen. I knew people at Microsoft, and no one would listen.
Well, you might know even less people at Microsoft.
Fewer?
Yeah, sure. That too.
Sorry. Pet peeve. Less versus fewer.
Well,
people are countable.
There's going to be a fourth layoff at the Xbox division in the past 18 months.
Oof.
Unofficially, because, this hasn't actually been announced yet, but the rumblings from people are that this will be about a 10% cut.
Jesus Christ. It's a bad time to be in the industry.
Yes. No, because the industry exploded during COVID.
Well, because money was free.
Yes. And everybody was at home playing video games.
Yeah, and money was free, so companies could hire as many people as they wanted because they could take out loans to pay them.
Yes. And now that bubble has burst. Everything is just shrinking down. And everybody is shrinking down. So even those people who leave, there might not be something that they could easily jump to.
No. Yeah. It's one of the reasons I will go on record. Yeah, it's one of the reasons I'm still where I am is the industry is friggin' terrifying. And Epic has a history of, no, we're not going to fire people just because, the economy took a downturn. We don't hire that many people ahead of what we need. We're not going to, just eliminate people because of that. We will find something for them to do. COVID hit. We all went to work from home. We have people whose job it is to shuttle people around campus, right? They are the shuttle drivers.
Yeah.
They drive a van for 8 hours a day on the campus to move people around. COVID hit. I'm pretty sure I've talked about this before. There's no one on campus. So what do? Well, they say, our facilities team has been talking about doing a full replacement of every light bulb on campus. This sounds like a good time to do that. So they did. That's what the shuttle drivers did. They went and changed every light bulb.
Hey, believe me, that's a big thing. I pushed to get all of our fluorescent bulbs switched over to LEDs at the radio station.
Yep. And that's not a small task.
No, it was not. Especially when people are like, "Oh yeah, no problem," and then they started counting, and they're like, "Wait, how? Are you sure this is the right number of lights?" And I'm
how many lights do we have?
Yeah, I'm like, They're like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Well, let's just go count the 3 rooms that we're in the conference room, and then there's an office across the
10 in this room."
Yeah.
I mean, just how many light bulbs are in your house?
Yep.
That sounds like a random topic.
This house, when we moved in, surprisingly few number of lights.
Yeah.
Because we had consumers come in to do an energy audit thing there, and they gave us, they were going to, swap out 10 incandescent light bulbs and give you LEDs or whatever. And we're just going around trying to find
10 lights.
10 lights that they could trade. Shit. What? Nope, there's a light there. Okay, so those are 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's one in the bathroom that's 5. I'm like, we got 5. Where we're going around. And then if I remember correctly, we had 9, and then Kate went downstairs to the basement and found one more. So she's running out to the guys who have already packing up their stuff, going I found another one. I found another one.
We got 10. Yeah. I mean, I have there's a lot of lights.
Yeah. So yes, Microsoft plans, it looks 7% company wide.
Jesus.
No, 7,000
all people who are going to hit the job market. Okay. Yeah. What's this canoe?
So, some Swedish person did a whole test about ancient Vikings. And so they spent 3 years sailing the fjords around Norway and Sweden in a Vikings boat just to make sure that the Vikings could actually do what they thought the Vikings could do.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out a bunch of people over in Japan and Taiwan and such were curious about, are we sure that these guys back in the Paleolithic era could actually go from island to island? Because like they found the stuff there, and it's like, are we sure that they can 30,000 years ago go from these places to these places?
Out of curiosity,
yes,
what's their alternative proposal?
That part I don't know. There is an actual.
I applaud them for saying like we should check that this is this is accurate. Like we should do that. But also, like, as opposed to what? Because there's the evidence that those people are there. Mm-hmm. So, like, aliens? Like,
oh my gosh. When the aliens guy showed up in Resident Alien, I was giggling.
We've only seen a couple episodes.
Oh, the aliens they go to
what
an alien
aliens guy?
The aliens guy. You know, the guy with the crazy hair?
What? I don't know what you're referring to. Like basically, a guy from the movie Aliens?
No. Just Google aliens meme.
Aliens meme. Oh, okay. Him.
Yes.
Ancient Aliens meme generator.
Yes. He shows up at
Giorgio A. Tsoukalos.
Yes. He shows up during an episode of Resident Alien.
Okay.
Which I thought was just hilarious.
Interesting.
Yeah. But these guys also have done a 90-minute documentary about their reenactment of the 30,000 year ago voyage. So,
and they were successful?
Yes.
Good. Good for them. That's awesome.
So they used tools from the era and did not use any maps or anything else. They were just curious to see if they could actually do it.
Although they did know that it was there.
Yes.
That's a big difference.
They knew it. They knew it could be done. They're just
But like, imagine, this was a 40-hour voyage, right? Imagine 30,000 years ago, you managed to convince a group of people to do this and be like, yeah, we're just going to go and see if we're right about there like being an island out there. Mm-hmm. Like, what? You want to go on a like multi-day boat trip and there might be something there? We think there's something there? That's terrifying to me.
Yeah, the target island is not visible for more than the first half of the voyage. So these guys, modern guys, like they just out canoeing. They think it's that direction, but they're not sure. So,
Terrifying. But that's awesome that they did it.
Yes.
There was an Easter egg on the Mac G3.
Yes.
The Power Mac.
Power Mac. Turns out there was a bunch of the older Macintoshes in the non-Steve Jobs era.
Yeah.
That there were Easter eggs built into the things. And most of the people had figured out how to get to all the Easter eggs in the different versions. But the Power Mac G3 had one hidden in the ROM. That nobody could figure out how to get to. They had found the actual Easter egg image, but they didn't know how to access it. Like, what was the secret code to get to the image? They found the image. They're like, okay, there's an Easter egg image here. How do we get to it? So somebody finally found out how you would enable the RAM disk in the memory control panel, restart the computer, select the RAM disk icon, choose to erase the disk from the special menu, and then type in secret ROM image into the format dialog. And then if you double click the file, simple text will open it and show the hidden team photo.
That's fantastic. Good for them.
Yes.
I'm glad someone found that after almost 30 years.
Yes. That part of me is like, you're just bored one day and you're like, oh yeah, there's those secret Easter eggs. Oh, nobody's figured out that one yet? Mm-hmm. Let me take a crack at it. So that Easter egg from 27 years ago, but it's not like it was even hidden. Like I said, they've already known that the JPEG existed. They just didn't,
know how to get to it.
Yes.
They didn't know how to get it normally.
Yes. How to officially get to it.
What is RTA, real-time attack, as opposed to a tool-assisted speedrun?
Sure. If you want to go and compare it to speedruns, sure.
Yeah. Glitchless.
Okay.
How do you do it What's the 100% glitchless?
Well, there is a group that built some AR goggles or glasses, and they have now added something into their SDK for the things where they can actually block real-life ads.
Oh, this feels like a Black Mirror thing.
They built the real-world ad blocker using the new depth module API of the Glasses OS, and they integrated with the vision capability of Google's Gemini AI via the cloud.
Uh-huh.
So you can actually just say, hey, that's an ad, and they will put a big...
But I'm watching their video, and it's not just ads.
No, they've blocked
brands.
They've blocked brands.
Pass.
So yes, they will
pass. No, pass. Seems sus. Seems very Black Mirror. As I was looking earlier today on how to set up a pie hole so that I can just block all ads. I have a NAS now.
I've got one in the basement. We haven't spun it up yet.
I mean, but this is like a full, not just a bunch of discs. This is a Synology like computer.
Oh, okay. No, ours is just a bunch of discs.
Yeah,
JBOD, I think is what they call it.
Yep, JBOD, just a bunch of discs. I'm slowly moving all of my media to this 30 terabytes of redundant storage. It's a lot.
You know, I'm sitting in front of a couple of external hard drives that I'm not even sure if they still work or not.
Yep.
That were, filled with just random media.
Yep.
Part of me is like, oh, I'll watch that someday. Morgan Freeman says.
Morgan Freeman, no, he won't.
God, it's hard keeping track of it. I just saw that they just released the 3rd season of Squid Games, and I'm like, I didn't even get past the first episode of season 2.
Yep. Well, you have kids, so...
Yes. Nope. What's really great, though, is Megan, for some reason, I don't even know how, but for some reason, is very interested in the animated Batman, the animated series.
Woo! BTAS.
Yes. And I was like, okay, can we watch Batman? Yes. Yes, we can watch Batman.
Yeah. It gets a little dark for a kid that age, but like, cool.
And then, the animation starts to change to match the Superman animation. Mm-hmm. And then we start getting into like the Teen Titan sort of animation. And some of these later ones, I'm just like, oh, yeah.
The Justice League.
Yeah, the Justice League animation and everything. I'm just like, It was very nice at the beginning.
Apparently, Batman the Animated Series never changed their animation to look like Superman.
They did when they changed it to The Adventures of Batman and Robin.
Yeah, but that wasn't Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah,
that was a follow-up.
Actually,
they never did that.
Yeah.
But they did start a new series that was more in line with the Superman the Animated Series.
Yes.
And the Justice League and the Justice League Unlimited, which was the follow-up to Justice League. But all of those are actually pretty good. But that's what I was going to say. I was going to bring up was the original Batman the Animated Series. Apparently the opening was animated on a black background.
Yes.
So it's not that they had to color in all of it. It was already colored in. They just added white. Mm-hmm. That's so cool.
Yeah, no, that's how the animated series got its look, is they used black backgrounds for everything to start.
Yeah, it was so good. It was so good. I hit him with a rock. Definitely not for your kids. Definitely not for your kids. Have you watched the new Harley Quinn series?
No.
Oh God, Andy, it is.
I've seen clips.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of Batman the Animated Series. It's one of the best animated DC comics. Harley Quinn is amazing. It is written so well.
No, I've seen clips from it. So.
And it's got Alan Tudyk.
Oh, I know.
I know you love Alan Tudyk.
Oh, I know.
I
still have to watch Andor at some point too.
Animated DC, and there's some really good animated DC.
Mm-hmm. I know. Right. So should we hit is there anything on this list that you still want to talk about? Because
I want to know about your phone.
Yes. So I would like to review Google's current repair process.
That's good, because I might have to use it in the very near future. My watch decided that its face should just detach from the rest of the body.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
So Google, I was like, okay, Pixel Repair, because this is a Google phone. So Google has a whole thing, and they're like, okay, Google Repair. You can mail it in. It will be gone from 7 to 10 days. We might not be able to fix it, and so on and so forth. And I'm just like, I'm not going to, be gone. Because my phone, we were at a water park. Everything was fine until I had gotten the alert, hey, there's water in your USB port. And I'm like, okay, no, I assumed that was going to happen. Everything was fine. literally as I'm changing, I throw it into my bag and I get changed. And when I pull it out of my bag, the screen is green. I'm like, well, that's not normal.
No.
So I turn the screen off and then I just let it, do its thing. And then later in the day, the screen just doesn't turn on. But it still connects to the car's CarPlay. It's still connected to my watch. So everything else seems to be fine with it except the screen. And I'm like, all right, well, I feel like this. And then, of course, I have an alarm set on my phone and I use the Sleep Android app. So I have to normally do math in order to turn the alarm off.
I have that too.
Yes.
Yeah, but you can't because the screen's gone.
Yes. And it turns out if you try and force your phone into a reboot,
Yep.
Sleep Android realizes people will do that in order to turn off the alarm. So as soon as it boots back up,
there's a setting for it to override it.
Yep.
Yep.
So that was a fun morning.
My phone's going off. I literally can't stop it.
Yep.
Oops.
So I come back on Tuesday, and I start Googling this thing there, and it's like, okay, you can mail it in, or you could take it to our local authorized repairs places. And I'm like, cool. That's a U-Break iFix. It's down the road from the old radio station.
Yep.
Kate's had her screen replaced there, no problems. It's like 2-3 hours tops. This will be great. So, I schedule an appointment. The guy calls me up. I tell him exactly what happens. He's like, oh, the phone's not under warranty. I'm like, well, yeah, no, duh. It's a Pixel 6. It's only got 1.5 years of software updates left on it. It's definitely I'm like, I understand it's out of warranty. Like, I just need to get the screen replaced.
Yep.
So then, I bring it in and I set it in there. The guy pops open the SIMS card and he looks inside. He's like, oh, your water sensor's been tripped. Has this been in liquid? And I'm like, well, it died at a water park. So I'm going to say yes. I'm not going to try and bamboozle this guy because he's going to open up my thing in order to replace the screen. And if he sees the water damage,
I mean, you're assuming there was water damage in it.
Yes. Which the water indicator in the box was tripped. So water had gotten in past the IP68 seal.
Yep.
So he's like, okay, well, we'll have to do a water recovery thing first.
Oof.
Which was only like 60 some bucks, something like that. And it was less than 24 hours. So I come back and he's like, okay, here's the thing. Yeah, no, it looks like your screen had a problem because he brings it out to me and he's like, we need to test all the rest of the stuff, make sure it's all good. So we test, phone calls, camera, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. And I'm like, I'm assuming it's all like it was all good beforehand. I'm assuming it's still good now, but he does the whole thing. And he's like, okay, cool. We can't fix it. And I'm sitting there looking at my phone screen and I'm like, what do you mean you can't fix it? It's literally like in my hands fixed. And he said that Google's agreement with them, because they're just the Google authorized repair place, is that if there is water damage, they have to mark it off as beyond repairable.
Oof.
And they are not allowed to do any sort of repairs. At that point, my only option was basically to, set up the whole thing for data transfer up to the Google Cloud. And just call the Pixel 6 dead. And I'm just like, I'm holding a fixed phone in my hand. Why can't I just pay you the $200 for the screen and, we'll be done? And the guy's like, no, we can't do it. It's like Google does not allow us to repair the phone, even though the phone is out of warranty. So there's no warranty aspect to this whatsoever.
Yep.
Google will still not let them repair the phones if there has been water damage. So I go, okay, I will just take your water damage repair. I will take my phone back. So the guy literally takes the repaired screen out of it, puts my old broken screen back in on it. Luckily, I'm like, look, I'm going to put my own screen on the thing, so don't do any of the adhesive or anything like that. He's like, no, I'll just snap it together so it's not, flopping around as two separate pieces.
Yeah.
And he gave it back to me, and that afternoon I ordered, because let's see.
Did you at least ask him, what kit would you recommend getting for repairing this?
Well, I looked it up. The iFixit kit has all of the stuff with it. So it's got the heating pads, the spudges, the screen with the frame, the adhesive. It has the iFixit kit has everything it was 130 with free delivery, but their free delivery was 7 to 10 business days. So I paid the extra $30 to kick that down to 2 to 3 business days.
Okay.
But yes, no, Google itself, through their official Google repair page, which the repair page even specifically asked, it's like, is there water damage? Yes. Is anything, they ask, okay, if there's water damage, is there anything that smells bad? And it's like, no. And it's like, the screen doesn't work. It's like, okay.
Is there anything that smells bad?
Yeah,
I guess if the electronics.
Yes. Or if the battery is
smoke.
like, turning into a pillow and, might explode.
I think that's happening to my watch.
Yeah.
I think that's why the screen came off.
But still, it's like they specifically asked it and they said, okay, just call up this local place and do, work through them for the repair. And it's just like,
I'm on a first name basis with my guy at You Break I Fix.
Oh,
his name is Noah. He's amazing.
Oh yeah, no, I these guys knew what they were talking about, and I was able to, I knew enough to tell them I know what I'm talking about as well. Mm-hmm. But they're like, yes, no, this is entirely above us. This is all legal stuff that.
Yep, hands are tied.
Yep. And I'm just like, this is the most ridiculous thing I have ever seen, where I'm holding a fixed phone in my hand and the guy takes it into the back.
And unfixes it.
And unfixes it to give it back to me.
Yep.
It is, part of me is like, okay, come October 2026, when I'm on my last software update for this phone, it's like, do I really want to keep going down this path? If I know that if something happens to my phone with water, Google is going to just not allow me to do anything with it unless I do it myself.
Yep.
Because it's like, okay, yes, I'm doing it myself. I paid $160 with the expedited shipping in order to get the screen in order to repair it. It's like $220 to the repair shop versus $160. I'm like, I would have gladly just paid the $220 right then, waited 3 hours, not even 3 hours because it was already fixed.
It was already done.
It was already
done.
There. But nope, this was Google deciding against it. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
Fun fact, Samsung actually also used to be the same exact way. But back in 2022, I do believe, with my research, they decided that was a dumb idea and that they would actually allow places to do out of warranty repairs even if there was liquid damage. Now there was a whole bunch of... I wonder what the
reasoning is. I wonder what the reasoning... Like there's some reason that they did this in some corporate boardroom.
Yes.
They made that decision.
Well, the guy was explaining it to me that he believes that water damage could cause, other unseen issues and possibly other issues farther down the road that could be unrelated to whatever they actually do for the repair. So it's like he thinks that, it's one of those things where it's like people might be coming back and be like, well, you didn't actually fix my phone because my phone's now broken again, which it could be a completely unrelated issue that was also caused by water damage. But I don't know. It was just ridiculous. Had I known that, I would have ordered an iFixit kit on Monday, had it waiting for me at home when we got back on like Tuesday or Wednesday, and then, would have been done with it. But nope, I've got a blank screen on my phone that spent literally days.
Yep.
So, yep, that is... Oh, look, their little internal tag is still on the back of my phone cover. That's funny. But yep, nope. That's Google's official repair channel. Crap. Just crap. And this thing is like the You Break I Fix is the local place that has all the right parts. So if I would have to go to them anyway, but then they would also, once again, if I didn't go through Google, would also be, our hands are tied because Google won't let us use the parts. So I would have to hunt them down online and go from there. It's just so dumb. So dumb.
Sorry, Andy.
Well, gives me a chance to let other people know how dumb is it.
It's so dumb. How dumb is it?
Do I have those? Or did I give those to Jamie? Dick DiBartolo, a Mad Magazine writer, was also a person who wrote some of the questions for Match Game. The, how dumb is it sort of stuff. And he had gone through his storage unit and I had gotten some of those Match Game actual cards from the TV show.
Cool.
And I'm not sure if because I was going to put them in a nice frame for Jamie and I'm not sure if I ever got around to it. I have to hunt them down.
Okay.
That's what I'll put that on as a reminder for myself. All right, random topic time because we need to close this up.
Yes.
Rolled ahead of time. It's somewhere. Where's it at? Here it is. Who on today's episode would make the best porn star? Can I just do that whole thing by tapping my nose and saying not it?
I mean, I guess it's me then.
Nope. I would be bad. I'm not sure what makes a good porn star, but I feel like
And he's like, I don't know what makes a good porn star, but it's not me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say not it. I've already touched my nose.
I guess it's me.
So
I have never considered doing porn, but like, I don't know. Between Andy and me, probably me.
I think Kate would be glad for that.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yep.
That's one of those like really easy to answer, really short, random topics.
Really odd.
This one did not do like, oh, but there's all this discussion, and oh, but what about? Nope, just not worrying about it.
Nope.
Dave.
That's a wrap.
This has been another episode of the Random Access Podcast. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, corrections, suggestions, remarks, reviews, rebukes, retorts, or just rants, feel free to contact us. You can find us on Twitter at RAPodcast, or send us an email at mail@rapodcast.net. Thank you for listening.